La, 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 la. Hey folks, welcome. Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm just here in the studio for some little jam pots, honey pots, whatever you want to call them, that I threw just recently, and I'm just at the stage where I need to basically fit the lids up and fettle them off, and maybe put a cutout in there for a spoon. So that's just where I'm at really. Here's a little, not exactly the same, a smaller, maybe a little mustard pot. Salt glaze, this one. There you can see the cutout. So these are basically, like these are the couple on the end there that are just plain cylinders with a rolled rim on the top. So if you put a rolled rim on the top of the cylinder, you can then create a gallery, you see, out of the rolled rim. Because quite often you don't have quite enough clay, do you, at the top to form a gallery. So the rolled rim serves two functions. One, it's an aesthetic detail, which I personally like. It's also, it gives you extra clay at the top out of which you can form a gallery. It also serves as it gives you a nice purchase point to lift it up, you see, because your hands grab around that rolled rim and it just feels good in the hand. And that's always a good thing, isn't it, to think about. Does it feel good in the hand? Anyway, yeah, just join me. I don't know quite what I'm doing here exactly, other than what I've said, really, just sort of just finishing these off a bit, as you do, you know, inevitably when you make a lidded form, quite often you perhaps can just make the lid and it just fits exactly and it just pops right in there, just like that, you see. In this case you can see the bottom of the lid here, it could do with fettling off, thumbing off, like that, putting in there, and then actually I should probably seal these while I'm at it. Seals, where are they? Here they are. Yeah, here's a good tip. If you do have seals, put seals in a little seal box, because you will find that seals get very easily lost. Maybe fall into the clay, fall on the floor. So I always just have a little box here, a little wooden box I got from a dollar store or something like that. And I keep my seals in there. I recommend you do the same. So just going to, yeah. So there, generally on the bottom there I'll put it. So you can put a seal right on the bottom of a pot, like that. Or you can put it on the side. There's no sort of real right and wrong way of doing it, other than I think sometimes, well, if it's going to be glazed on the outside, then if you put it on the side there, the glaze might cover over the seal, so it might not be so visible. So just think on that. Think on that, yeah. Now for the most part, these that I threw, the lids fit reasonably. That one fits. You don't want them actually too tight, because if they're too tight just here, close to the edge, you see, it can catch. So that's just something you need to think on. I'm making you work. I'm making you put your brain to work, you see. Yeah, but these are little practical things to consider. So my seal that I use when I seal, sometimes you pick your seal up, you don't know which way around it is, do you? You don't know if is that the way around, is it? Or is it like that? Well, I make life simple. I put a little black dot. So black dot always uppermost, and then I know it's the right way round, you see. Letting you into my secrets. Nah, not really. There aren't any secrets. I don't have any secrets. Okay, so that guy. This guy here, it needs... Now you can fettle these off with your thumb if they're soft enough. These are just borderline. If they're not quite soft enough, so you might just have to put a trim tool to them, you know. Now I'm putting that on there and I'm thinking, you know, it's just a little tighter than I like it to be there. So I'm going to have to, you can either take a little skim off the inside of the gallery or take a little bit off the edge here. So let's just, are we in the picture? Are we in the picture? Yeah, pretty much. We'll bring it in just a touch. Not too much. Alright, like that. Yeah. Okay. So, just put him on there. No, actually I think I'm going to take a little bit off the lid. So just centre him up like that. Take a trim tool and just like that. Yeah, that fits better. It's nice to have a little, just a little bit of sideways movement, you know, just a little bit. If you put him in there and there's no sideways movement at all and he's just held fast, I recommend you take a little bit of clay away, just so you get a little bit of... Alright? Yeah, so you just lick your thumb, you know, and just rub it around like that. If you don't want to lick your thumb, dip it in your water. Yeah. Like that. Yeah, well this one is okay, doesn't need any adjustment. Just fettle him around like that. Well, now this guy that I did is too big. He is too big. He needs... So rather than immediately putting him on the wheel and trimming him down, just swap some lids around. You know what I mean? You may find that by doing that, you'll get away with not having to no, I think I'm going to have to just take a little bit off that one. I was hoping that I could perhaps get away with not. But yeah, we'll do that one. First we'll just fettle the bottom. See, there's no trimming involved here. I try not to trim these unless there's something about the shape or the form that is gone off rather, which I would then need to bring back by trimming. I'm not needing to do anything, so that's good. Alright, like that. Okay, so this guy we're just going to have to take a little bit off the edge there. Let's bring the camera in a touch. Just in a touch. This is sort of, sometimes this is what pottery work is about, you know, doing a lot of this kind of thing. Fiddly work, fitting up stuff, and you might as well see it, because there's no point in pretending it doesn't exist, you know, because it does. Okay, so let's just try and get him on center as best you can. A little bit of downward pressure, and taking that tool just, oop, he's come off. So he may not be quite, just, I think he was sitting there quite flat. So when you do this, you do want to just apply a little downward pressure and introduce the trim tool blade to the side where you're making the cut, just a little gradually, you know. A little bit of finger pressure here, keeping him, make sure you keep him down. Alright. Let's just put him on, see if he's a bit better. Yes, he's definitely better, but he still requires a little more. So what I should do is, perhaps in the next clip, just make a few more of these and show you how they're actually thrown, because I know there's a lot of you out there who want to make lidded forms. Still not quite enough. You see, you need a little bit of patience, don't you? You don't want to cut too much and then make it real sloppy, a sloppy lid. You don't want that. No siree. Take just a dip of water there on the finger and hold it there, you see, with my soft part of my finger, just blend it around the edge. Yeah, that's good. He's good now. And just fettle the lid off, put him on there like that. Okay, good. Let's do one more, and then I'm going to put the cutouts. This guy fits very well, but he fits kind of too well. Like I told you, I really would like to see just a little bit of, very little bit of play there. This one is not really giving any play, so I'm just going to take a smidgen off here. Like that. Dip my finger in the wood pot, hold it to the edge and just blend it over around like that. Make it smooth and round, you see. just finish off the underside, and now put him in there. Yep, he's good. Okay, we didn't do the base of this one though, did we? So just damp your finger, and then right on the corner here, go around like this. Okay, and we're done. Seal like that. Good. And like that. Okay. Okay, so we've done half of them. They're done already, you see. They don't take long, do they? Right, next. Okie dokie, let's just pull this back a touch because I'm going to just work here a bit closer. Right, so what we want to do is, I've got this kind of knife, sort of Fettling knife. I was given it by somebody who came and visited me. I think it comes from Canada. I can't remember the name of the guy who sent it to me. If you're watching this video and you're the one who sent it to me, you came by here one day. I think you came by on my birthday or something, and you dropped it off. Very good of you. So what I want to do is put a cutout. Let me show you how I do this. I'll get in the camera here. So we want a cutout for the spoon. Let's see that one we did before. To give you some idea. Alright, you don't want a great big huge cutout. So let's, now don't do this either if the clay is too dry. It's a little, I don't want this to be any drier than what it is. So basically you're going to take that blade, we're going to make two notches. Alright, one there, and you can dip the blade in the water. Alright, and you see I've got one notch there. I don't know if it's in focus or not. So I'm going to put another one just a little bit further along, like there, and make a notch in like that. Okay. Now take the knife, and what we're going to do is try and do one continuous cut around like that, cutting in here and going around and then out at the other hole. Alright, now I'm trying to do this in the camera. So I'm coming round, and out. Okay. Alright. So I know somebody's going to be saying, "Oh, Simon, why do you put two holes? Why do you put two cuts like that?" Well, there's a good reason you do that. So just, yeah, lick your finger or dip your finger in the water and just smooth that like that. Then what you're going to do is take the honey pot, and you want to make sure that you've got enough. You see what I did on the underside there? I didn't just cut it like that there, but I cut it back here like this, you see, to allow the spoon to rest in there. Okay, so we do two cuts. The reason we do two cuts is, let's do one more. The reason we do two is, dip it in the water, actually, by the way. It's a good little tip, that. The reason we do two cuts is we want an entrance cut, all right? And it's more important, actually, the exit. So where the blade actually exits, you want to put a cut in. Otherwise, when you cut and when you come around, the corner will break away. You see, so I've come up with this like that, you see, and then the corner. Just try and get the cut a nice round form to it. So that little bit there, just on this edge here, I actually want to angle that back, you see, like that. Okay, now just take your finger with a bit of water and just go over those edges. Now I don't sponge it, okay, all with a sponge, because that'll bring all the grits to the surface. Just a wet finger, and just because by a wet finger and a wetted finger pushing will compress the surface, you see, or a sponge won't compress the surface. And you want to compress the surface with the moist finger. Let's just do one more while we're here. We might as well. Okay, so there let's just push in there. Okay, and now we want to half an inch further down, push in again. All right, and now cut that. You're going to try and cut it and come all the way around like that, you see. Yeah, it takes a bit of practice, like everything. So don't expect just to get it right first time, and if you don't, kind of give up. Just keep practicing. Start with a slightly smaller cutout to start with, because you may find you've got to go over it, and each time you go over it, it gets a bit bigger, you see. So you don't want it to look too big. Okay, and now then that little corner there, we want to shave that back like that. Yeah. So just with a wet finger, just go over that, you see. You compress it and smooth it. A sponge would bring all the grit, grog, sand, etc. to the surface. Okay, and there he is. Now that one there, can you see it's got that, it's kind of raked back, the hole. That's to allow the spoon to rest. Okay, so there we have it. We've done 3. We've done these 3 here, so I've got the rest to do. Good. Right, well, thanks for joining us, folks. I hope that was helpful to you. It's the small it's in the details, isn't it? The small details, and that's sometimes where there's actually quite a lot of craftsmanship, isn't it? Is in the small details, the finishing. So don't neglect that. Don't neglect the finishing off and do a sloppy job, because you know it'll let the pot down, won't it? At least I think so. Go to my website, simonleachpottery.com. We've got tools, pots there. I'm heading towards a bisque firing and then a glaze firing. Taking orders on Leach treadle wheels, if that interests you. Write to me. I've got workshop dates are up there on my website, going through all the way through the summer and into the fall, into the autumn. So if there's a date there that interests you, write to me, let me know, ask me about it if there's vacancies, and then I'll tell you what to do. You need to send me a deposit, $75. What else? Yeah, SKYPE at the wheel. If you're interested in that, wheelhead to wheelhead, from my studio direct to yours, via webcam. I can teach like that if that interests you. Write to me about that if that interests you at simonleachpottery@gmail.com. one last thing. If there are folks out there who make comments on my YouTube channel, I quite often don't get around to answering comments on the channel. But if you have a question and you want an answer from me on something, if I'm able to answer it, I will try to. Write to me at simonleachpottery@gmail.com. Okay? I'm just trying to bring things together rather than having questions on Facebook, questions on YouTube, questions on email. Sort of trying to like bring them into one place. It would make it easier for me. So if you have any questions, just write to me there rather than asking me questions on the channel, because I don't always get round to. I hope you understand. Anyway, thanks for joining us. I hope that's of some help to you. And yeah, we keep practicing, don't we? Haha. Hey, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.